A man on a routine flight just wanted a sip of water. But suddenly, he noticed his fingernails turning black. Being a doctor, he instantly realized this meant extreme oxygen deprivation. Before he could react, the plastic bottle in his hand twisted and distorted. The cup of water on his tray began violently trembling. A flight attendant quickly sensed the danger. She rushed to her seat and urgently instructed everyone to buckle up. The plane plunged straight into severe turbulence. Water floated into midair in an instant. Passengers without seatbelts were yanked upward by sudden decompression. Chaos engulfed the cabin as it shook violently. Terrified screams filled the plane. Passengers desperately gripped their armrests, each silently praying they'd survive this nightmare. The captain immediately grasped the seriousness of the situation. Securing his own oxygen mask, he swiftly activated the cabin's oxygen supply. Passengers scrambled to wear their masks and breathe, but Jack's wife fell unconscious due to lack of oxygen. At that same moment, a girl trapped in the restroom struggled helplessly. Unable to unlock the door amid the violent shaking, she collapsed from suffocation. Jack staggered through the aisle, desperate to save his wife. Reaching the flight attendant's station, he grabbed an emergency oxygen bottle. Placing the mask over his wife's face, he finally saw her revive. After one final jolt, cabin pressure miraculously stabilized. Flight 7500 had barely survived the disaster. The captain quickly reassured everyone via intercom. He explained they'd encountered a storm that damaged a vital seal, but emergency measures had successfully resolved the pressure issue. Passengers breathed sighs of relief. The girl in the restroom was also rescued safely. Just as everyone thought the nightmare was behind them, eerie events began unfolding. Suddenly, a middle-aged passenger felt unable to breathe. Flight attendant Lisa urgently asked if a doctor was on board. Hearing the announcement, Jack rushed to the man's side, but the man's condition had severely deteriorated. He clawed desperately at his own mouth. Everyone stared in bewilderment at his bizarre behavior. Without warning, blood erupted from the man's mouth. His body twisted grotesquely, like a zombie's convulsions. Within moments, he was completely motionless. When Jack laid him flat, he realized the man's heart had stopped. An inexplicable death now haunted Flight 7500. The captain immediately informed air traffic control. With an hour remaining in flight, crew members moved the body upstairs to business class. They respectfully covered the deceased passenger with a blanket. Just moments later, a young man quietly sneaked upstairs. He had noticed the victim's expensive gold watch earlier. Greedily, he slipped the watch off the corpse's wrist. Instead of leaving immediately, he took out his phone to snap a proud selfie. Suddenly, the corpse's head twisted unnaturally. Then, the body horrifyingly stood upright. The young man's screams echoed through the plane. Meanwhile, downstairs, flight attendant Lisa saw something shocking through the window. A fighter jet was flying dangerously close. Communication from the cockpit to the ground tower started breaking up. Even more chilling, when Lisa checked on the corpse in business class again, it had vanished, and the man who stole the watch was nowhere to be found.